I have heard over the years, people in the Muslim faith, and even some people who were critics of polygamy, citing the Quran, stating that the wives all have to be equal in polygamous marriages. Now, I beg to differ, and I beg to differ based on the present context that we're in. First of all, equality is very subjective. All right. So when you say, you have, say, 3 wives and you have to treat them equally, what does that mean exactly? Many times the person stating that they support polygamy and but you have to be able to treat the wives equally, or the critic who says, well, most men are unable to treat their wives equally, they misunderstand what equal means in context of Muslim law or jurisprudence regarding marriage, specifically polygamous marriage. You'll hear them specify what they mean. And they'll say, well, if you take one wife out to dinner, you have to take the second and the third wife out to dinner. Or you have to take all the wives out to dinner. If you spend $500 on your second consort, then your third consort and your first consort, they both have to also receive a new wardrobe in the amount of, in the approximate amount of $500. I'm just giving you examples that I've actually seen people use. That's false. And here's why. Simply that every woman has different desires and different needs. Therefore, treating women equally, really in real time, means that you love and you care for them individually based on what is needed at the time and the man's ability to provide that. You're not going to be taking 3 women shopping all the time unless you want to as the man. That's just a fact. One woman may already have a large wardrobe, especially if she's new to the marriage and she comes into the marriage with, a large walk-in closet full of gear. She may not need any more clothing at that time that you take out, say, the second consort. If you're the type of Muslim man, for instance, who has his women in different homes, then just because you have a wife in one home, one woman may actually just want to live with you. Or 2 of the women out of the 3 in this example, they may want to share the same space. You may own a duplex as a man. You may be a real estate investor. And if you own real estate and you have, say, a duplex, and you shift your time between going upstairs, or say there's 2 consorts, and then the bottom level there's 1 consort. If you work it out that way, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy one of the upstairs consorts another home. But I hear this all the time. And I ask them, I say, well, how does equality actually work out? If you put some money into your first consort's hand, you say, you know what, babe, here's $10,000. Do as you wish with it. Do you have to go give the other women money? And not necessarily. It depends. It might also be a special occasion for you and that particular consort, depending on what you do for them. In the earlier example, I gave an early example of the man providing the women with clothing. It may be an anniversary. It may be something where she finished school, or she's about to have a child. She may have different needs for her clothing. So this is really a simple topic. I mean, I can't really go on for 20 minutes about this topic. It's just, when you hear people say this, a lot of times it's women, and these are increasingly more and more Muslim women, who are saying, well, you have to treat us all equally. And then they sabotage the marriage, because they will say, and they will actually go to the imam and say this too. I mean, when they're receiving spiritual counseling for the marriage, he doesn't treat us all equally. He gave them gifts, he didn't give me gifts. Maybe it was a special occasion. Maybe he knows what those women like. Women are the same, but they're different. Women are the same, but they're different. Each woman is going to have different taste and different levels and depth to those tastes if they are respectful to one another. So being equal is really impossible in real time. A man has to deal with each woman across the board, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally, as he sees fit, based on the individual needs and desires of those women. So treating the wives equally, yes, in the sense that you have to love them, respect them. That's just expected. If you're a man who says you are polygamous, you have to know how to treat the women kindly and with an air of respect. That doesn't mean they're just simping, you're being a mangina, kissing up to them. We're not talking about that. Some men are gruffer than others. Some men are nicer than others. They're more low key. So if you're a woman, you have to understand your man too, and how he does things and why he would say go do something for another woman and not you. You don't automatically bring up this equality thing as if it's arbitrary.